Are they are they doing graffiti or are they just fucking pissing on stuff around town?
They're just squirting, like a cat.
Honeys, we're home.
Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Sinclairity, a dinosaur tale. My name is We're Gonna Need Another Timmy, along with my host.
I'm Ben Handupme.
Ben Handupme, there we go. How's it going? Mr. Handupme?
It's going good. Every time I'm about to say my name, I almost say hand me up or fist me up or fist up me or something unintentionally wildly inappropriate.
That's okay, because that's what this podcast is all about.
Oh, man.
Inappropriate dinosaur sitcom
excited,
humor.
I'm pretty excited about this episode right now.
Are you?
It's got a little bit of homophobia, a little bit of racism, a lot of sexism.
Yeah,
I don't know whether or not you picked up the little bit of racist points in it, but that's what I'm here for.
There's some race issues. There is a lot. There are like these subtle homophobia jokes and stuff like that. And this episode, I guess, is just called the mating dance, and it is the second episode of season 1. So we're chugging along here, Ben.
Yeah, I'm starting to fall in love with the series.
Yeah, I think earlier you sent me in just text saying that this episode wasn't as funny.
I mean, the first one wasn't very funny either, I guess, but
yeah,
I feel like this episode there was like one moment where I actually like laughed out loud for the first time. So there's that. Like it had like. It wasn't a super amazing joke, but I was into it.
Yeah, like
I'm an easy laugh though in general.
Yeah, there were a lot of points where I kind of giggled to myself because I just thought, oh, that's really clever, but nothing like I was like dying. But
it really gets into the whole Flintstones type shit in this show too, with all the appliances being involved. Like the fridge is full of these animals that help put the right thing out for Fran, and the trash can has a little animal in it that eats the food.
I know
it's a living.
But yeah, so I guess we can just get into this episode.
Well,
unless you have anything else, if you have any trivia or anything like that about this episode that you'd like to share.
It won an Emmy for art direction.
That's so crazy that this show won an Emmy.
I watched this episode and was like, that was pretty painful. And then I explained the episode to my partner, and I think she was just mad at me even by the end of the explanation, for just being there and existing. Because it's just she was just like, this is still just exactly how people are. This is how men act. Because in the episode, it starts with they wake up in the middle of the night because the baby is up, and then Earl is just not going to do it. He's not doing anything around the house with the baby. And it upsets Fran, and he decides she should take a weekend away, and then he watches the kids. And essentially that doesn't work. He decides it's him, and has trouble resolving the issue. That's essentially the summary, is he just doesn't know what's up and why she's upset.
Yeah, he just doesn't understand.
And then the baby comes in clutch at the end.
He doesn't understand his wife and his family, who he hates so much.
Who he hates. It's a new concept to have a wife and kids. It keeps saying that throughout. Was Earl the first one to have a wife and kids? As far as I know, nobody else has. I guess they go to school, so there must be other people with kids. Yeah. Unless school is literally, he does say in the first episode it's a place for them to not be around him or in the house. So maybe they just go to another room with just each other.
So this is the reason why I kind of feel like this is almost like this would have been the first episode. as opposed to the first one, even though I guess it's more like the pilot, just because it opens with a shot, the outside shot of the house, which we'll get a lot in this series, and it just says 60 million years ago, 3 a.m. in the morning. So it's kind of like, it's kind of giving you like the time period that we were in.
Finally.
So yeah, we open and it's just the outside shot, and you hear the baby crying, and the light comes on in Fran and Earl's room, and she's like, "Oh, the baby needs food," and Earl's is like, "Why do we have to feed it?" She's like, "If you don't feed it, it will die."
He's like, "How many other kids do we got?" She says 2, and he's like, he just starts snoring again. He's done. Yeah. And where this annoying baby just starts shouting, "I'm whining, that means I'm up."
Oh my god, he's so irritating.
This whole scene, like, it's a real thing. Babies waking parents up in the night, but this baby is just like, he's like, "I have no concept of time. Wide awake, let's dance."
That was my favorite line in the show.
No concept of time. This baby is on stimulants. Like, there's no other.
Yeah, and I think that line is very relevant to our current state right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's
that comes up a couple
quarantine.
times in this episode, for real.
Yeah, like, no one really... Well, I know what day it is, because I still have to work. But...
Yeah, I still have to work as well. But I sympathize with the memes about nobody knowing what fucking day of the week it is anymore.
So Fran is trying to get this baby to fall asleep. She goes into the fridge. We see all the animals living in the fridge, and they hand her... I didn't get to see the only thing on the label for the bottle is I just see 100% meat on it.
That's it. It's 100% meat. It's literally just one critter inside the bottle that he slurps down.
I know. Whole. Which, again, this is Emmy-worthy. The way they got to, like, the way they filmed this, where he just sucks it all up.
Yeah. Like, I guess, like, while watching it, I'm just like, this is all real. I don't even think about the puppeteers for some reason, because I'm just dense, I guess. Like, I'm just kind of like, these are bad-looking puppets, but really it is kind of like, it's pretty impressive, because I guess I'm just so used to newer technology and the way we do editing now. I know,
but it was so cool just seeing her carry around this puppet, and it was still moving.
Yeah,
and it was talking.
They use motors and stuff for their faces.
Yeah, and like he like pretends to sleep at one point. And she's like, "I don't believe you."
I don't blame you. I'm like, that's such a weird thing. Is like, I guess it's really just trying to like vocalize what's actually happening and making it more blatant.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's times where you think you got the baby to sleep, and then like a minute later it's still up, and that's. But this baby is so fucking blunt.
Yeah, and he's so annoying. So basically, Fran ends up staying all night with this baby. Mm-hmm. And then he finally falls asleep. And as soon as he falls asleep, Robbie's up in the morning. Everyone's waking up and demanding breakfast from Fran.
Oh, yeah. Well, he has, like, a speech about breakfast. And at the beginning of it, she interprets it as, like, oh, he wants breakfast. And then it concludes with him saying, "But I don't have time today." Yeah. She's holding cereal in her hands, and he just leaves.
Yeah, and then Charlene comes in, and she's like, I don't want breakfast. I want...
She doesn't want cereal.
Yeah, she wants
a waffle with an animal in it.
Yeah, so she pulls out something from the freezer. This is waffle meat, or meat waffle. And she puts it in the fucking like waffle press, and then before
with the cereal.
Yeah, before she's even done, Charlene just leaves for school.
Oh yeah, she says her friends show up and her crush Bruno's in the car, so she's asked her mom how she looks, and her mom can barely tell who she's looking at. She's just like, "Charlene?"
Yeah.
She's like out of it. Like, this mom is so tired.
Yeah, she stayed up all night with this annoying baby.
And it's probably not the first night. This has probably been going on since, last episode. This has been a week, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, she mentions it, that she hasn't really slept since he was hatched. So, so then afterwards, she grabs the meat waffle and disposes it in the trash can, which is a living creature inside of the trash can.
It's a living.
And he's just like, He's just like, ooh, waffles.
Why doesn't she appreciate that the trash can appreciates her?
Yeah, it's all the living appliances are okay with her.
Yeah, and then this is when she like looks outside the window and sees this caveman bringing food to his family, and then he like loves and appreciates his family and keeps reiterating it.
I know, he's the only good sitcom dad is that caveman, the unnamed caveman.
because then in walks fucking Earl, who says, and I quote, "Franny, I know your days are awful full with your bonbon lunches and girl chat at the produce counter. Can you please take a minute to put a button on that shirt I've been asking about since last night?" Since last night.
It's so great. I love Earl in this episode just because the way they write for him is just amazing.
He's such a piece of shit.
But it's just like he never realized, like, I don't think he's not supposed to, it's written that way, but just the way he says things, it's just, he's such a dimwit.
Your bonbon lunches.
Yeah, and then he's like, all right, well, you know what, Fran? I'll just go to work. I'll hit an antelope on their way to work. And
Eat some of it.
Yeah. So we have established in this show that 60 million years ago, from 1994, there were small mammals, humans, and now antelope living amongst the dinosaurs.
And what does he mean run over? Like walking?
Oh, okay, so... Okay, I mean, there are cars in this universe, though.
Oh, are there? I haven't seen them yet.
Well, you heard it when Charlene left. Remember?
You're right, I'm a liar.
Yeah.
You made a liar of me.
And in later episodes, we see Earl's car. So,
okay.
They do have cars.
It's got to be a big fucking car.
Yeah.
Do they like Flintstone run these cars down the road?
No, it's just like a regular car.
Does it run off their ancestors?
I don't.
Because of fossil fuels?
That I cannot answer. But let's go ahead and say yes.
It runs off of people bones.
While Fran is talking to her horrible husband, she mentions that she's a drudge. And she's like, This is like a word they keep using over and over again.
Did you look up this word?
You know what? I thought about it, but I didn't look it up.
I kind of was assuming that it isn't a commonplace word used, like they were just using it for this episode.
I'm gonna look up what that word means right now.
I did. It's a person who does tedious, menial, or unpleasant work.
Like the Drudge Report.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess that explains Drudge Report. But yeah, and she's pretty reasonably upset. She tells him that he's being too loud. He's gonna wake the baby, and he's getting kind of defensive. And his best line is to be like, "I love you." Like that's all he knows to do at this point.
Yeah, and
thankfully Roy walks in at least.
Yeah,
to see her kind of cornering him with a knife. I don't think she's intending to be cornering him with a knife, but she has a knife in her hand and she's kind of frantic and like he's worried.
Yeah,
and it looks bad to Roy.
Yet no one he doesn't try to intervene or anything like that.
Oh no, he's just like, I'm out of here. Which I support. Like if Earl might need stabbed a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. So then we come to the work site at We Say So, and Earl and Roy are sitting down at work and trying to figure out like what's going on. Like Earl has no clue. He's just like, she's mad about something. I don't know what.
Roy is kind of like, he's like, I don't see why you're even worried about it. It's not your problem apparently. But he's also like talking about how it's a new concept. He has a wife and kids. I still can't figure out when this concept began.
Yeah, and he was just like,
apparently they mentioned at some point that dinosaur civilization is about 1 million years old. But I have no idea.
And then Roy's just like, there's no historical precedent for this.
Which is like a great delivery for that moment, too.
Yeah, and then Earl's just like, well, wait a minute. Our brains are the size of walnuts.
We can figure this out. Oh. I also want to say that regarding the concept of this being like the first generation with kids, that really does add more to the previous episode where the George Jefferson boss character told him that he needs less family, and everyone else is just like, why do you have a family? Because they must it must really be new, and they're just like, this is fucking wild.
It has to.
Why is this guy living at home with these people?
Yeah, but like Fran and Earl have been married for 20 years at this point.
Yeah, that gets brought up. So they had like 6 child-free years.
Oh, that was the thing too when he mentions their brain size, and then they do the thinking where they're thinking in space and time is going by.
Yeah. Time is passing, and they finally come up with the concept that Fran needs a break from the kids. But then it goes right back into them thinking because they can't figure out who would watch the kids if Fran wasn't watching them.
Yeah. Yeah, like
so more time passes.
Yeah, and they use like a car analogy, like if something's wrong with the car. Yeah. So you see, they do have a concept of cars.
Yeah, cars put on a bit of weight. That's what happened to my car too.
and then Roy was just like, "Wait a minute, I got it. You can watch the kids." And Earl's just like, "Why would I want to do that?"
He only agrees because he says, "Seeing as it's in my own interest, I guess I'll watch my kids." My own
self-interest.
and this is another of the moments at the end of this. They're just like, "Wait, what day is it now?"
Oh,
this is very relatable.
So good. Yeah, I love it. I'm sad we didn't get to see Mr. Richfield again, but I guess it makes.
Oh yeah.
I guess it makes sense that he wouldn't be in the episode. So we go back to the home. Earl gets home from work, or actually, it's the weekend now. So we fast forward a couple of days. So I'm sure.
Yeah, it skips the whole him giving this idea. I assume there is probably a script in which it goes over their exchange here. But it just skips to him taking care of the household and it not going well.
Yeah, so we open with the scene and baby Sinclair is just hitting he's hitting Earl in the head.
This is
coining
the introduction of the not the mama.
Yep. He's just saying not the mama over and over again, and Earl's just like, you do that one more time and I'm gonna throw you across the room. And baby thinks about it. He thinks about it. And then he hits him, and then he gets thrown.
Again.
Yeah, then so he went from one catchphrase to the next catchphrase.
Yeah. They're really getting ready to market this character as hard as they can.
Yeah. Again! And then Charlene walks in, and she's like, hey, Dad, what's for dinner? And I love Earl's immediate reaction, just like, I don't like your attitude.
She is so taken aback by that response.
No.
But then he's sitting there with his uncooked dinner, and the dinner tells him maybe you should turn the oven on next time.
Yeah. I love how in this show we've already set the precedent that the prey animals, the ones that are going to get eaten, they really don't care. They do not care that they're going to die.
It's just they're very aware that this is what happens.
Yeah, like he's just like turn the oven on, and then he's giving more sage advice to the children.
Oh yeah, when they're trying to figure out where their mom is, and they're like, she's at her mother's, and the animal's like, isn't that what they always tell the kids?
Yeah, and then they're just like. And he's just like, I'm your father. It's like, oh, I'm your mother, father.
He's like, I'm the mom for the weekend. And then Charlene is like, well, Mom, can I go see a movie tonight? He's like, not a chance. And she tells him, Dad said I could. And then he really stops. Like, this is the part I laughed at because he's just like, did he really?
Yeah, he has no idea.
But he's completely okay with Robbie's request to go out and mark some
territory. Disgusting.
Are they doing graffiti or are they just fucking pissing on stuff around?
They're just squirting, like a cat.
Oh no. That would win some puppetry Emmys.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's not enough puppet bathroom scenes in this show.
It's because the bottom of them have hands in them. Not these puppets. They're too big.
Yeah.
These are full-ass humans in these puppets.
And then Earl makes a joke about someone playing with fire. Is that
yeah, because the mother father gets stuck behind the table.
Uh-huh.
So the kids are just like, oh, he can't move, but we can, and they bounce.
Yeah. And they're just like, those two are playing with fire, and then it cuts to the baby saying, no, I am!
Literally surrounded by fire.
So, baby's tail is in fire, and then it's on fire. But allegedly, it's not actually on fire.
Yeah, I mean, when he picks the baby up, originally the tail isn't on fire, but then he's walking around with the baby and it's on fire all of a sudden, so he has to dip him into the sink. This is where he starts telling the baby that this is, at least after today, this is never going to happen again. He's never going to have to deal with these kids.
Yeah, and then Fran comes back from her mother's house.
Yeah, to witness him saying that this is the only time he's going to take care of his family.
Yeah, and then she's just like, I don't know what's wrong with my life. And Earl's just like, life? What life? Your life is me and the kids.
Here's your life. This is the kids. This is me. If it's not the kids, then what's wrong?
I know. He has like the spoon and something, and he like throws it.
And yeah, he's holding the phone to indicate like one of it, and then Roy calls at the right moment for him to do the kind of double joke where he's like, "Hello, Roy, it's me." So he does the right thing, and he goes to the fucking bar with his friend.
Yeah.
To resolve his marital issues, he leaves the house and goes to the bar.
He's like, I felt like it was in her best interest to go to the bar.
It was all I could do to leave the house and come down to the bar.
And Roy, and then like him and Roy are discussing it, and they're trying to figure out the problem. And this is the spot in the show where I think it was the first slight like gay joke. Was when Roy's just like, "Come on, you're at the bar. You're at the bar, Earl. Everyone loves you here, right, guys?" And you hear like all these voices like, "Yeah, we love you." And then the last voice you hear is just someone in like a kind of like effeminate voice. It's just like, "We love you, big guy."
Yeah, this is kind of the thing. Is Roy just doesn't? He's just like, "I've known you 27 years. That's longer than Fran's known you. I've never had a problem with you." Like, he doesn't understand that there might be a different dynamic of relationship, and maybe being able to go out drinking and work next to a guy is different than like sharing a life with somebody and having responsibilities that you have to oversee.
Yeah,
it's just like, we're all good here.
Yeah, it's a male-female problem. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, and he's asking if he's like, been on top of that situation, if the fucking is right. And he's like, I said I love you to her this morning. He's like, was it sincere? He's like, oh, it was a defense mechanism.
Defense mechanism.
She had a knife.
I know. Roy I'm glad that you picked Roy as your potential favorite character, because he's so pure and innocent.
He still reminds me of the dinosaur from Toy Story. That has not left my brain.
Yeah. So after they kind of had the discussion, Roy's like, "Well, what about the mating dance? Do you do the mating dance?" And Earl's just like, "I've been married for 20 years. I don't have to do that anymore."
Yeah, he's like, she's already in my house. I don't have to do it. I like that Roy demonstrates the mating dance while talking about how he does it 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And this girl across the bar is like wooed by it.
I know.
Her boyfriend has to like stop her.
Cover
She's
her
on
eyes.
a date.
Yeah.
But Roy is fucking pulling it down.
He's good. He's good at what he does.
He's good. It's a great mating dance. That's an Emmy award-winning art direction mating dance that he does in that scene.
Like, imagine trying to dance in that suit.
I can't even dance regular.
Exactly.
In general, all white people dance like their characters on The Sims.
I know. I've been to plenty of weddings. So after the bar, Earl comes home. Him and Fran are sitting down to watch TV. And we get a wonderful DNN report on the news.
Oh, God. So, do you get, like... do you remember what this is referencing?
Yeah. This is
the giant pandas from... that they tried to repopulate in the San Diego Zoo in the early 90s.
Yeah, and how they wouldn't breed... They couldn't get them to breed.
Yeah.
So...
Which I did some research here. It is currently going well. The giant panda population is doing way better.
That's
due to
good.
artificial insemination.
Mm.
So just a little positive note for everyone during these harsh times.
so Mr. Handupme is just like, he's like,
my father.
they're at they're at the zoo at the zoo, and what they were, was it Ling and Ching?
Yeah, and Ching Chang.
Ching Chang.
Yeah,
and
that's the racist thing I was mentioning, because these are giant pandas from China that they're referencing in this episode.
Yeah.
But it's with two cavemen.
Yes.
Emphasis on the men. They're both cavemen.
Yeah, and that's why they're having trouble breeding.
I hope they're still having fun. Because I've been there too, man. It doesn't work, but like, you know.
Yeah, they have two male cavemen, and they're trying to get them to breed, which is another gay joke in the show.
I felt like that one as a gay person. I felt it wasn't. I didn't feel mean spirited about that. I thought it was cute.
Yeah, I thought
they
it
just don't
funny.
understand like humans at all.
Yeah, like they like just put them in the cage together, and then as Fran decides that she's gonna go to bed, in the background you can hear is like, and now here's so and so with the weather, and it's just like, it's gonna get colder and colder and colder.
Oh god,
it's great. So Fran goes to bed, and then Earl stays up, and he catches an advertisement for Mel Luster.
Jesus Christ.
Mel, I didn't get it at first, and then I got it. I was like, oh
yeah,
no.
I was kind of like, at first I was focusing on the luster. I was like, oh, it's like lust, like he teaches how to do mating dances. I was like, oh, it's molester. That's not good.
Yeah.
In the award-winning episode.
So Mel Lester claims that he can teach anyone the mating dance. So take the mating dance classes, and they're there all night. And when he's just like, and of course, we're located in the heart of the seedy part of town.
Here's something I noticed about this commercial. Is he says he's been open since 72 million BC, which is 12 million years before this episode we're watching.
Isn't that insane?
So this guy has been doing this for 12 million years. That's 11 million years prior to dinosaurs being civilized. So he's really figured out his business model, and it's fucking rolling.
I know, that's generations upon generations.
Yeah, all within the seedy part of town. He does it at night because he says, what else are you gonna do it anyway?
So Earl goes to Mel's, and Mel is like, looks disheveled, like he's been doing this all night, like his like bow tie's undone. And he gets Earl to do the dance. He's a little shaky, but when he starts practicing, he gets it down.
Yeah, it takes him a minute to get loose. He says, he's not young anymore. He says this to a guy who's using a cane while dancing. And he lies to the guy and tells him that he's 28, but we all know he's 40 and he's never been to Europe.
Yeah, he's never been to Europe, and he's never gonna go to Europe, so he might as well just learn how to dance.
Sinclair.
So after Earl successfully performs the dance, they consult Marilyn, the lust bot.
Glad you got the name.
Yeah, Marilyn, and she's like, oh, and she's just like, oh, I'm so in love with you, or something like that, and then she's like, $25.
Yeah, he's like, thanks, but I'm married. $29.95. Pay now.
So he pays Mel, and so he's getting ready to leave, and then and then they come in. It's like, hey, we brought
Chang Chang.
We brought Chang Chang
from the zoo to learn how to mating dance, so that he could fuck Ling Ling or whatever.
Yeah, and reproduce. So we leave, and Earl goes home to his wife, and so this is a couple who's been together for 20 years, and they still sleep on the floor. Bunch of grown people.
I'm in my room right now. Here's a little sidetrack. My bed is the mattress on the floor. I haven't lived here very long. I just moved to New Orleans from up in Ohio a little bit ago, and me and my partner have separate rooms. We often still like sleep in the same room, but I have this bedroom here, which she about an hour ago told me was a disaster. And it is clean. It's not like dirty. It's just that I have this bed on the floor. I have these totes full of books and movies and different things I don't have shelves for yet. And she's like, you can stack all of those totes in your closet behind your clothes that are hanging. And like, she's like, you need to get guitar racks to hang all your guitars that are laying on the floor on the wall. And I was like, how can I afford that? She's like, you're about to get a stimulus check. And I was just like, oh shit, I should get a new guitar. And that didn't send the discussion in a better place anyway. But like, I understand sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, so they sleep on the floor in like a bed of ferns, like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all misty. And he wakes up Fran, and Fran's like, Earl, what are you doing? And he's just be like, I've been out taking care of your problem.
God, this is some shit that I would have done though. Like, it's so dumb, but I get so confused about things sometimes that I would have been like, you know what? I'll go out and get dance lessons in the middle of the night. That will fix everything.
Yeah, and so he proceeds to do the dance, and Fran just falls asleep.
Yeah, it's not what she's looking for, homie. Like, why are you doing this to her?
Yeah, it's zero effect on her at all. So after that, he starts hearing the baby cry again, that he's up. And so he goes downstairs, and he actually steps up and he's a father.
Yeah, like when Fran almost wakes up to go take care of the baby, and he's like, I got this, and she just looks fucking bewildered. And he goes and he does like the mating dance in front of the baby.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different, but it causes the baby to fall asleep.
Which is weird.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Fran walks in, and she's like, you put the baby to sleep with the mating dance? He's like, no, that was a baby dance. It was different. And she's like, well, I loved it. He's like, what was wrong with the one I did upstairs? She's like, I loved that one 20 years ago. I like this dance now. The one where you got out of bed in the middle of the night and helped me.
Yeah, because that's, he actually did something, He did something good.
The concept of him helping her, it's his fucking baby too. Like, it's so annoying that he's just like, he sees this as him doing something he shouldn't be doing to help out. And she's like, this resolves it for her. She's just like, oh, he's so great. He helped once and will never again because there isn't going to be character development.
Yeah. And then I guess Fran kind of hints at wanting to have sex with him, but then
give him some tail.
Then Earl's just like, I'd rather go to bed.
He's like, I'm in the mood for 40 winks.
Yeah, 40 winks.
And she just says, you got it, big boy.
Yeah.
And then the baby gives like a clever little nod to the camera to indicate he did all this on his own to set this up.
Yeah, he did it so his parents can fuck.
Oh, bullshit. This baby doesn't care about anybody.
I know.
He does not want his dad to get his dick wet. This baby does not care about anything.
But he acts like he's so proud that he got his parents to have sex with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's
Emmy Award winning.
That's the Emmy Award winning episode that we watched today. That's the whole episode. So, like we did with the first episode, Ben, is Roy still your favorite character after episode 2?
Roy's kind of dumb, but like I guess that's the thing. It's I guess none of the other characters became my favorite character in this episode. I like Fran, but I feel like she should hope for a bit more in her life than this she has her little bomb lunches and her girl chat at the produce counter, but like this guy is just he's so annoying. He won't get better, I assume.
Yeah.
But Robbie was annoying this episode. Charlene was annoying this episode. The baby is very annoying. So yeah, Roy definitely is the one who fucks. He fucks 3 times a week, as we've heard.
Yeah, he does it. So when Roy says it, I got a feeling that they were insinuating like he just like jerks off, but I don't think that's correct.
So you think if this was an episode about humans? Okay, let me paint the picture. Earl goes to a class where he learns how to jerk off. He goes, wakes up his wife, It says, "Hey, I resolved everything." Jerks off. Like, he isn't Louis C.K. Oh God. But
yeah, and he jerks off in front of the baby.
All right, we need some editing on this episode, but it's just I was like, I feel like with the show, like sometimes they're trying to make like little metaphors or synonyms, and then it gets really lazy quickly.
Yeah.
It's no longer referencing multiple things at once. It's just the one thing that it is. It feels as lazy as having the ending be the baby acknowledging that he's the one who resolved the issue. Because I feel like that was just like some throwaway gag at the end that like didn't really fit the theme of the show.
Yeah, they're trying to trick us into thinking that baby cares.
That baby doesn't care. That baby is evil.
So
no concept of time.
Yeah, no concept of time. So this episode was all right. It wasn't like super good, but I mean we're still in the first season, so
it just makes me think about men.
Yeah.
How terrible they can be. Okay, so it's a thing though, like so he feels like he says that he's the breadwinner, so he shouldn't have to do anything at home.
Yeah.
But like I feel like, okay, so if I had the option of either being the person who does like all the cleaning or the person who goes to work, I would probably choose to go to work. So, like, I'm just bad at self-management at home. Like, I don't know, but like, I just feel like the whole thing, it's kind of a confusing concept because now everyone works for the most part, but there's still men who won't do shit at home even though they both have to work all day.
Yeah. It's definitely a thing, and not much has changed in 16 years or whatever, whenever this show came out.
Bruh, it's longer than 16 years. How old do you think we are?
No, it's been 26 years.
26 years.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, we're not Zoomers.
Oh my God.
No, but
I'm 33 years old.
It can be. I'm gonna be 30 this year.
Jesus
but
Christ.
I don't know. I just think it's just about the fact that it's like, okay, so maybe if you're trying to split up things like you work this amount of time versus housework that amount of time, that doesn't extend to kids though. Like they're still your children and you're raising them together and like should be doing the equal amount of shit.
Yes.
And he treats it like he's a babysitter, and that's so annoying. You hear dudes all the time be like, "Oh, I gotta babysit the kids tonight." It's like they're your kids. Like, why are you like this?
Well, maybe everyone should go back and watch this show and realize the way that they treat the people that they so-called love and care about.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Good luck going back and watching a show that is not currently on any streaming services, though.
But you can find it legally, just like us. Anywhere on the internet.
So, any other final thoughts on this episode?
No. It was decent. Like you said, there's some like laugh out loud moments, but nothing too crazy.
Decent. It won a fucking Emmy.
Yeah, it won an Emmy for the puppetry.
Quality.
The puppetry was amazing in this episode. Well, I'm not going to downplay that.
Okay, before we leave, I'm going to read this review that I've already read to Tim. just before we sign off, or we can sign off first. Here, we could quickly we'll say our exiting line for this, and then I'll read this quick review.
Okay, should we plug the Twitter and the Facebook?
Oh yeah. You can find us at twitter.com/Sinclairity2.
And then also on Facebook, we have a Facebook group. It's just called Sinclairity, a Dinosaur Tale. You should be able to find it by just looking that up. So yeah.
Yeah, and I hope you enjoy your extinction.
Yes.
This has been Sinclairity, a Dinosaur's Tale.
Yes, and now Ben Handupme will read a riveting review of this very episode.
All right, let me get through this. This review is titled Fran's nervous breakdown. 4 exclamation points. Earl Sinclair, as all Americans men, want a reasonable breakfast. However, Fran has a nervous breakdown at morning. Earl, after some plea, run away, afraid, be hurt from some cooking device. At work, he complains with his labor friend, who advised Earl to relearn the mating dance to overcome the house matter. He did, and goes home hoping changing the Fran's humor. Somehow, nothing happens. Then Earl, after being disappointed over such futile effort, he decides to take a look at the baby. Unexpected happened. Fran appears, now accepting Earl's offering, who suggests sleep instead of first proposition. The second episode is quite interesting, over husband-wife relationship and their usual problems to keeping the family. 7.5 out of 10 stars.
And with that, folks, we'll talk to you next time. What is our upcoming episode?
The next episode?
Yeah.
That will be called Hurling Day, which is the one apparently where we learned that dinosaur civilization has been going for 1 million years.
Oh my god, Hurling Day. I cannot wait for this. We get a new character, Ben.
I haven't... Oh, man, I'm so excited. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's so great. Alright. Well, we're gonna need another Timmy and Ben Handupme. That's the show. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks to Cartoon Network for writing the theme song. I fucked all that up. Hey, thanks to Amy Shenanigans for making a part of the logo. This is not going to be what goes there. And fuck you, Zach George, you piece of shit. Fuck you, Zach George, I think you are gay. Fuck you, Zach George, I'm glad you're my friend. Thank you for editing the podcast.
Lakeland, Florida.
Okay,